Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Mining. Today I'm going to be turning this computer right here, which was a Warthog crypto mining rig, into a Salad AI rig. We're going to see how profitable Salad is, how easy is it to set up Salad on a Windows PC, and how much money can you make. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the quick specs of this rig. So this rig, I recently swapped a 3080 onto it, and it also has a 5900X CPU. So overall, pretty good specs between those two. It's got 64 gigabytes of RAM on just a cheap B450. And so right now it has a 128 gigabyte drive for HiveOS on it, but I just purchased a 1 terabyte SSD drive that we will be putting Windows on because I believe that Salad needs some extra space to be able to run the jobs and stuff. So I did go ahead and upgrade to a 1 terabyte. Now I would have gotten an NVMe, but honestly I was just too lazy to probably have to pop that GPU off to put it in, and I'm not even sure if this motherboard has an NVMe slot at all. So if anyone is interested in building their own Salad rig, I will have links to all these parts down below. So we'll unplug that. We need to unplug our Ethernet up here, and let's bring it off the shelf. Take my little temperature sensor down, maybe smack that onto here, and I'll see if I can get behind this and take this down without breaking anything. This rig does have a 1000 watt power supply, so we should have plenty of power for any sort of jobs, especially with the hardware that this computer has. So easy enough to get down. Let's take a closer look. So first thing we need to do is plug a monitor into this beast, and we need to get Windows installed on it to get Salad running. So I've got a monitor right here with a DisplayPort cable, so we'll plug that into our 3080 right here, no problem. In addition to that, we're going to need an Ethernet cable and then a power cable right here. So I definitely have a power cable, Ethernet. I should maybe have one ran over here. Hey, nice. Let's plug this in. And then power cable, I believe I have some in here. I do. Nice. Being a little electronics hoarder is not always a bad thing. All right, let's plug this in. Now, if we go ahead and turn this on, we should boot directly into HiveOS, because if you see in there, that's my little 128 gigabyte SSD drive that has HiveOS loaded on it. So let's quickly make sure our monitor's working and everything is fine. And then I will go get a Windows 10 USB drive and we will flash it onto here. So it looks like we're getting a no keyboard detected error. That should clear out on its own, and we can see our AData drive was on there. Okay, so it looks like the HiveOS drive is working fine. Rig is looking good. Let's go ahead and turn this back off. So I recommend everyone keep a Windows 10 and maybe a Windows 11 boot drive. Comes in super handy when you're building computers and stuff like this where you don't have to make a new one. So what this is going to allow us to do is we will boot into our BIOS, and this is going to allow us to install Windows on a drive from the BIOS. And now we need to switch our HiveOS drive with this drive. And I gotta say, my new lighting setup is making these shots look pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and take that drive off, stick our new drive on, and go ahead and turn this thing back on. Before we do that, I do like to mark these drives just so I know what they are. I have a lot of these drives, so this just helps me stay organized. From here, let's go ahead and get a keyboard plugged in. I actually like using an RGB keyboard because it kind of helps with knowing if your rig has posted or not. And this is probably more applicable to GPU rigs where there's a higher chance they're not going to post. But for those that don't know, if your RGB turns on your keyboard, then your rig posted. And if it didn't, then that's an easy indicator to know that you didn't even get to post. So we can go ahead and flip this around here and turn this back on. And now I will mash the delete key here to get into the BIOS where we can start this Windows flashing process. There we go. All right, from here we want to switch the boot priority, which we can see over here on the right. We want to make our USB the first option. And here we can see it is booting up right now. So what I ended up doing was actually switched my USB drive to the back ports, so they're actually plugged into the motherboard directly. And then I didn't even go into the BIOS, it just automatically boots into this. So typical Windows setup here, you want to go ahead and install this onto the new drive, and when this is complete, we'll keep going from here. For those of you who are ever setting Windows up and don't have a mouse, you only have a keyboard, this gets me every time. Enter will not select that checkbox. You have to press A to select that checkbox. Very annoying and confusing, but hey, that's how you do it. So select this drive and we'll go ahead and get started. While that's doing its thing, I'll give you guys a quick rundown of what's going on with the rest of the mining farm. So everything is still off besides one rig is mining Zealous, and then my DG Home 1 ASIC miner from Crypto Miner Bros, link to that down below. Those are the only things that are running still, and we are looking at 1750 watts basically. So I've been monitoring the Zealous profits and it's getting slightly more profitable. I'm probably only losing about 50 cents a day on this rig, and if that keeps improving or the temperatures keep dropping, then I will get these ones back on. But for now, this has been plenty to heat my house, and that's what I'm focused on at this point. And just like that, we've got a fresh Windows install on our little rig here. Now I want you guys to let me know down below, what do you think is going to be the easiest way for me to remote into this PC from a one upstairs so I can use my normal camera setup and we can look at this monitor through there? What I'm going to do right now is set up a static IP and then just remote desktop into this PC. But let me know if like Chrome remote desktop or anything like that, what you all think is best, because I guarantee someone in the comments knows better than I do. Because eventually I want this not plugged into a monitor. I want this just on and back up on my shelf, where if we want to monitor it, we can monitor it from my computer upstairs. So let me know, guys. And in the meantime, I'm going to set up that static IP right now, and we'll move upstairs and get Salad hooked up. And for those that don't know, this is the settings I'm putting in for manual IP. I'm by no means a networking expert, but the IP address you want it on, prefix length is 24, I believe. DNS is 1.1.1 for Cloudflare or 8 for Google. And then the gateway is just, I believe, the first in there, but with a 1. So that's it. All right, guys, so I tried to remote desktop in and I got an error that it didn't work, but after doing some research, you actually need to enable it in your settings. So if I'll show you real quick, if you just type in settings down here, then you go to system, then you go to remote desktop, you need to enable it right here. So I'm going to run downstairs and do that real quick. All right, well, Windows 10 Home does not support remote desktop, so that's not going to work. I'm downloading Chrome right now, and we'll do Chrome remote desktop. All right, I got it working, so let's go ahead and go to Salad and figure out how to install this thing. And obviously, that's not what I'm looking for here. Salad AI. And scroll down past some of these other ones, and we can see right here, Salad, earn with your GPU. Let's go ahead and download this. And in the meantime, I want to go on here and mess with our power and sleep settings. I want to make sure that the screen, I don't care when this goes off, we'll leave that at 10, but I don't ever want this going to sleep. That will make it so our computer doesn't just restart on its own or turn off on its own, which is what we want. And I need to actually make a Salad account here, so give me 1 second. All right, and then this is what you're looking like once you get it installed. So I've go ahead and made my account Modern Mining. Looks like you get to pick an avatar here. We'll just do the avocado, why not? And it says, don't forget to install Salad in your downloads tray. So let's go ahead and install that. Yes. And in the meantime, I'll set up my PayPal account because that is how we are going to be getting our payouts. So I'll do that as well. All right, so I've got the account set up. I've got Salad installed. I had to do a reboot on the PC, and I was able to get in with Chrome Remote Desktop just fine. So that seems to be working all right. I did go ahead and bookmark the Salad page right here for my account. But let's go ahead and just open this app and go from here. Let's get this thing chopping, I believe is what they call it, and see what kind of rewards we get over a short period. And then maybe I'll do some more research on, do I need to do anything specifically to make it maybe more profitable? That's what we're going to find out. But for now, I just want to go ahead and get it started, just like any of you guys would do, and let's see what happens. So it says our GPU is in mid-demand. Our RAM is sufficient to run most workloads. I have 32 gigabytes. I think I may have said 64 earlier, but it is 32. And it looks like I will be earning about 11 cents an hour. So what would that be? Almost $2 a day. So if that is actually true, then that would definitely be better than mining. So on average though, it's showing that we're only making about 5 cents per hour. So that would be about a little over $1, which I don't remember exactly what I was making on my Warthog rig, but I think it was maybe like 75 cents. So maybe still better than Warthog. But let's go ahead and continue. Select the best performing workloads for my PC. Finish setup. Your container environment is set up. Setting up a container environment allows for elevated earnings from more diverse jobs. Get set up in minutes. So, okay, let's go ahead and set that up. Okay, so for the container environment, I've already enabled WSL. This was enabled already, and then I need to enable visualization in the BIOS supposedly. So I'm going to check out this quick guide and see what this is, and then I'll show you guys downstairs how to set that up. All right, so it's relatively easy to find on mine. You hit F7 to go into the advanced menu. This is gonna be different depending on which motherboard you have. But then you're looking for basically virtualization, and you can see down here, CPU virtualization. You want to enable that, and that appears to be the only thing you need to do. Hit F10 to save. All right, now a good way to verify if that worked after rebooting is go to Task Manager, Performance, CPU, and see that virtualization here is enabled. So that's good. Let's go ahead and try to boot Salad back up. I probably need to make it so that auto turns on when the computer gets rebooted. But let's see if now we can go ahead and finish setting up that container. So far, I mean, the software and everything seems to be good. It really is just going to depend how good does this thing work in terms of profits. So looking in here, it does show our NVIDIA 3080. That's good. It does show our 5900X. Bandwidth sharing enabled. We go on the earn page. It says paused until idle. Go ahead and change this to chop now because this computer is not doing anything. The pause until idle was just if you're using it, wait till you stop using it and then start chopping. So it looks like we are finding a job, and I know that how quickly you find a job kind of determines how profitable it's going to be, and that's a lot of people's complaints from what I've heard online is that finding jobs is extremely rare, or not really rare, but maybe just random. Like you'll have a really good week and then you'll have basically nothing. But until I kind of figure out myself, I won't really know. It does say my chopping power is 4 out of 5. I wonder what that means. So chop for over 50 hours a week to achieve star chef status. So I bet that's going to allow me to get better jobs once I've chopped for 50 hours. So that shouldn't be any issue. This PC is going to run like this for quite a while. Let's go ahead and let this do its thing, and I'll check back in a day or so and see have we found any jobs, what's the profitability looking like, and eventually I kind of want to get a power meter to this and see how much wattage are we using just sitting here idle looking for jobs. Hopefully not very much. And I'll also disconnect that monitor since we won't really need it once I've got this thing dialed in. All right, guys, it's the next morning. I came down, and yesterday I noticed this did have a job because you could hear it, and you can hear it right now. But that's because I just had to restart this for some reason. When I came down, it was just on the login screen. It wasn't chopping. So I switched it back over, and it does say we have a job right now. It picked it up immediately, which is pretty impressive. One thing to note is yesterday's job was 0% CPU, and this one is 100% GPU again, but it actually has a little bit of CPU mixed in. So interesting, and I don't know why this shut down, which is pretty annoying. So we did already make 57 cents, and it's probably been only about 12 hours. So that's promising. That would be on rate to beat Warthog. But again, this shut down. So that maybe would have been closer to $1. I'm not totally sure. I need to monitor more. Let me know, guys, is there anything else I need to turn off? And I probably need to watch some salad videos myself. But besides the power settings, is there anything else I need to turn off to make sure this is up and running smooth? Okay, it's been another 24 hours. We're now at $1.11, so we basically only made 54 cents yesterday, and this time it didn't crash. So that's a little bit concerning, though I do have this update here. So I think it's a bad idea to stop it while it's running a job, but I do want to put this update on, and I do want to get this watt meter on so I can see what we're pulling to see if this is worth it at all. So I think I am just going to go ahead and do that update and get this watt meter and stuff installed, and then hopefully we find another job pretty quickly. So what I did here was I installed my WABA plug right here and then my standard watt meter right here. So if this WABA plug works correctly, it'll give us a kilowatt hour reading, like over time, how many actual kilowatt hours have we used. And that'll be more accurate because sometimes this thing's idle and sometimes it's running. It's not always gonna be running. So let me get it back set up and we'll monitor another 24 hours. All right, guys, so it's been another 12 hours. I figured I'd just give kind of a summary of my experience the past few days, and then we'll do a follow-up video about 30 days from now. So I did pick up another job, and the watt meter says we're running at about 400 watts. So I'm gonna pop up on screen what that would be in daily power cost if we were running for the entire day. And then I'll pop up on screen kind of our earnings so far. It's only been about 50 cents per day, but also I've had a lot of rig crashes and kind of setting up, so it'll be interesting to see what that is after a 30-day period. Overall though, things I like about Salad, very easy to set up. Seems like it would be pretty easy to get a lot of machines on it. But what my plan is to let this run for, let's say, a couple weeks, and then we'll come back and monitor, and we'll see if this was worth it, or if this is better off on Warthog, or if it's better off just staying off right now with profits the way they are. By all means, guys, definitely let me know if I did anything wrong in this video, or if you've got any tips. And if you want to set up a Salad rig, don't forget to check out my new site, GPU Deals, on the way out to find the lowest price GPUs possible. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks as always for watching.